The hidden message. Jake and Emily had been together for 6 years, their love seemingly unbreakable. They shared everything, dreams, fears, and even passwords. Trust was never an issue, until one night, Jake noticed something strange. Emily had fallen asleep on the couch, her phone loosely gripped in her hand. A message popped up on the screen, just one word. Tomorrow. It wasn't unusual for her to get texts late at night, work-related, friends, family. But something about this message felt different. Jake's instincts told him to ignore it. Yet, as he stood there, staring at the glowing screen, a deep unease settled in his chest. The next morning, Emily seemed unusually cheerful. She kissed him goodbye and rushed out the door, leaving her phone on the nightstand. Jake hesitated, battling with himself. But curiosity won. He picked up the phone, opened the message thread, and his stomach dropped. The texts were from someone named AR. Tomorrow. Same place. Can't wait. I miss you. Does he suspect anything? Jake felt his hands shake. His world, the love he trusted, was crumbling in front of him. Tomorrow. Same place. He had to know the truth. And so, he decided to follow her. Jake could barely focus at work. His mind raced with possibilities. Who was AR? How long had this been going on? Was Emily really capable of betraying him? Every memory of their time together replayed in his mind, now tainted with doubt. That evening, he acted normal. He didn't confront her, didn't hint at what he knew. Instead, he watched. Emily seemed the same, laughing at his jokes, talking about her day, cuddling up next to him while they watched TV. But now, every smile felt forced. Every touch felt like a lie. When Emily went to bed, Jake checked her phone again. The location for tomorrow was sent. It was a hotel downtown. Jake clenched his jaw. Tomorrow, he'd be there too. The next day, Jake left work early and drove to the hotel, parking a block away. His hands were sweaty as he gripped the steering wheel. Was he really about to do this? Catch his wife in the act? He watched the entrance, waiting. Then, at exactly 3:45 p.m., Emily appeared. She wasn't alone. A tall man in a dark suit walked beside her. They entered the hotel, laughing, comfortable with each other. The sight made Jake's stomach churn. Was this really happening? Jake got out of his car, his heart pounding. He had to see it for himself. He had to be sure. He followed them inside. Jake kept his distance as he entered the hotel lobby, his pulse hammering in his ears. He saw Emily and the man approach the reception desk. The receptionist smiled and handed them a key card. They were getting a room. Jake clenched his fists. This wasn't just a business meeting or some innocent gathering. This was planned. This was intentional. He watched as they entered the elevator together, Emily giggling at something the man whispered. The doors slid shut, and Jake's chest tightened. What now? His first instinct was to rush upstairs and confront them. But a cold, calculated voice in his head told him to wait. Don't make a scene. Get proof. Jake approached the front desk, forcing a smile. Hey, my wife just went up, but I think she took my key card. Can I get another one? Room under Emily Carter? The receptionist hesitated but then nodded. Of course, Mr. Carter. Jake's stomach twisted at the sound of his last name attached to her betrayal. She handed him a card. Room 1214. Jake took a deep breath and stepped into the elevator. As he ascended, rage and heartbreak fought for control. He wasn't just about to catch her. He was about to destroy the illusion he had been living in for years. The elevator doors slid open on the 12th floor. Jake stepped into the hallway, his hands trembling as he clenched the key card. Every step toward room 1214 felt heavier, like wading through quicksand. Stopping in front of the door, he pressed his ear against it. Muffled voices. Laughter. A low, intimate whisper. His vision blurred with rage. Jake slid the key card into the lock. A soft beep. A green light. He pushed the door open. Emily was on the bed, her blouse undone, her arms wrapped around him, Michael. Jake's best friend. The moment their eyes met, Emily gasped and scrambled away, yanking the sheets up. Michael sat frozen, his face shifting from shock to something almost like guilt, but not enough. Jake, Emily started, but he raised a hand, silencing her. The weight of betrayal pressed down on him like a boulder crushing his chest. You, Jake's voice came out low, dangerous, directed at Michael. My best friend? Michael swallowed hard, but before he could speak, Emily blurted, "It's not what it looks like." Jake let out a bitter laugh. Not what it looks like. So, what is it then? Emily hesitated. Michael looked down. Jake exhaled sharply, clenching his jaw. He could explode. He could yell. He could punch Michael's smug face in. Or, he could do something worse. A slow smirk spread across his lips. You know what, he said, pulling out his phone. This is perfect. Smile for the camera. Emily's eyes widened in horror as Jake raised his phone. Jake, stop, she shrieked, lunging forward, but he sidestepped easily. Michael jumped up from the bed, hands raised. Dude, let's talk about this. Jake scoffed. Oh, now you want to talk? His fingers hovered over the record button. Too bad. You should have thought about that before sneaking around with my wife. Emily's voice cracked. Please, Jake. We can fix this. Fix what? He gestured between them. You? Him? Lying to my face for how long? Weeks? Months? She averted her gaze. Jake's stomach twisted. Months. Michael rubbed the back of his neck, sighing. Look, man, it just happened. Jake snapped. It didn't just happen. You made a choice. Both of you. His fingers gripped the phone tighter. Revenge was right there. One video, one upload, and the world would see them for what they really were. But as he stared at them, Emily's tear-streaked face, Michael's guilty stare, an idea far worse crept into his mind. A slow, calculated smirk spread across his face. You know what? He lowered the phone. You're right. We should talk. Emily blinked, confused. We should? Michael frowned. What are you? Jake cut him off. Let's sit. Have a drink. No screaming. No fighting. Just three friends, talking things out. He moved toward the minibar, grabbed a bottle of whiskey. Emily hesitated. Jake, I don't think. Drink, he insisted, pouring 3 glasses. Come on. One last toast. His voice was smooth, almost too calm. Michael eyed the glass, suspicion flickering in his eyes. And then what? Jake lifted his drink, eyes gleaming with something dangerous. Then, my friend, he said, we make things even. Ending. Michael hesitated, glancing at Emily, who looked just as wary. But Jake's expression was unreadable, too calm, too controlled. The rage from earlier had melted away, leaving something even more terrifying in its place, cold calculation. Emily swallowed hard. Jake, what do you mean? Even? Jake let out a dry chuckle, swirling the whiskey in his glass. Oh, it's simple. You two decided to betray me. To lie to my face. To destroy everything we built. He took a slow sip, eyes locked onto Michael's. So now, I take something from you. Michael stiffened. Jake, listen, man. But Jake slammed his glass onto the table. I am listening, Michael. I listened every time you told me you were my best friend. I listened every time Emily said she loved me. And you know what I realized? He leaned forward, voice dropping to a whisper. Neither of you ever meant a damn word. Emily's breath hitched. Jake, please. Drink, he ordered, gesturing to the glasses. Michael eyed us warily. I think I'll pass. Jake smirked. Smart man. But it doesn't matter. He stood, towering over them. Because I already won. Emily frowned. What do you mean? Jake pulled out his phone, tapping a few buttons. A moment later, both Emily's and Michael's phones buzzed. They exchanged a nervous glance before picking them up. Their faces turned ghostly pale. Emily's hands shook as she stared at the screen. No, you didn't. Michael's jaw clenched. Jake, what the hell did you do? Jake leaned back, crossing his arms. Oh, nothing much. Just send a little something to everyone we know. Emily's heart pounded. You're lying. Jake shrugged. Go ahead. Check. Your parents. Your friends. Your boss. His smirk widened. Even your coworkers. Michael fumbled to unlock his phone. His worst fear was confirmed when the notifications flooded in: texts, missed calls, voicemails. What the hell is this? Dude, what is wrong with you? Emily? Is this real? Michael. I can't believe you. Emily dropped her phone as though it had burned her. Jake, you ruined us. He gave her a dead stare. No, Emily. You ruined yourselves. I just made sure everyone saw it. Michael clenched his fists. You think this makes you the bigger man? Jake smirked. No. But it makes me the one who walks away clean. He grabbed his coat, turned toward the door, then paused. Looking back, he took one last glance at the broken, horrified expressions on their faces. Enjoy your new reality. Then, without another word, he walked out, leaving them behind, trapped in the ruins of their own betrayal.